here and you're planning a move or relocation here, give me a call. Don't call anyone else, just call me. I'm your guy. YouTube doesn't pay me anything. By buying a house, you guys compensate me. By the builders. So kudos, you guys don't have to pay me anything out of pocket. Now, jumping back into our list, number 2, ignoring flood zones and insurance costs. So yeah, guys, if anything, if I tell you anything, no two areas are created equal. There are some neighborhoods that have flood zones that you're going to be required to carry flood insurance. And then there's areas that are flood zone X, which is what most people want. You're not required to carry flood insurance, but if you do, it's a lot less expensive. Now, let's talk about flood zones. So if you're coming from out of state, this might not even be on your radar. But here in Summerville, South Carolina, and really anywhere in the Low Country, it's something you just can't ignore. Here's what a lot of newcomers miss. Many neighborhoods in Summerville aren't in high risk zones, but some still flood, okay? And areas near the Ashley River or low-lying properties may require flood insurance. So if you live in an area that has a lot of wetlands and things like that, you might have to carry flood insurance. And a house can be in a preferred flood zone, but still have a history of flooding. And what does that mean? Well, it could be in an X zone, but have flooded in the history. Because sometimes we get these 100-year, 500-year storms, and well, guess what? Things flood, regardless of how safe it is. So what does this mean for you if you're looking to move here? Well, flood insurance can range from anywhere from $500 if you're not required to carry flood insurance to over $2,000 a year, depending on your location. And you probably are required to carry flood insurance if it's $2,000 a year. Now, if you don't buy it and later need it, guess what? You're out of luck, because they are not going to backdate it. They are not going to, a name storm is going to come up and you're going to call your insurance company and be like, hey, I want to get flood insurance. I see that storm rolling up there, like, too late, sucker. That's what they're going to do to you. So always check the FEMA flood maps. This is one of my biggest pieces of advice. This is what I did before we really looked at our area and neighborhood. I was on there like, all right, we do not want to flood. We do not want to be underwater. So one of my biggest piece of advice is to buyers is we want to ask the seller. So when you reach out to me and we're working together, I'm going to ask the seller about past flooding. I'm even going to request a clue report. And that's basically a history of insurance claims. Because I'm not saying the sellers are going to lie, but a lot of them aren't always as transparent as you'd like. So if we ask for a clue report, that's going to give us a history of any insurance claims that were on that home.